Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Season 8 of IRL. We are here for F5 this season, and we are starting off for the first round here in Canada at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And I'm not alone. This year, in this season, I'm going to be joined by Jake. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to see what this season's going to bring, and we start off at, I think, certainly fans' favourite of a circuit.
Absolutely. I mean, we've had many great races in the past few years, not only in real life, but also IRL last year showed a pretty good race. And hopefully this will be no exception, as this track features 14 corners. And I think what makes this track so special is the very fast right-left chicanes or left-right chicanes, where the wall is so close. It's so easy to make a mistake or to get your front wing damaged.
Absolutely, yeah. It's very easy to make slight contact with the wall. It's very easy as well to pick up warnings, I think, around this track with the chicanes being so quick. And it's also very easy to overtake, and that has all the makings of a great race. And even in Canada sometimes as well, you do have a threat of a bit of rain spicing it up even more.
Yeah, rain could definitely make things very interesting, but right now in this quali session, it doesn't look like rain is on its way. We see right now no cars out on track yet. Drivers are loaning their setup. This year, obviously, IRL has got their biggest season so far with 5 different divisions, as we went up from 3 last season to 5 now, which is amazing to see. And we've got a very competitive grid for F5, featuring, for example, Jared Fursberry. Um, uh, Whoopsie, not the profile. I wanted to spectate, sorry. Um, Jared Fosberry, obviously an F2 driver last season, or let's rather say a part-time F2 driver. He went down to reserve as he switched onto wheel. But now he's here in F5. He's trying to get back up to pace, and he's probably going to be a man to watch for today's race.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of talented drivers on this field, and we've got a good grid as well, 18 cars, so it should be pretty exciting. They're a bit slow getting out on track, I have to say, but we've finally got a few cars making it out onto their outlaps.
Yeah, Jared in his well-known Renault once again. He loves that car. And also a man to watch, I'd say, today is Evan McGregor, who is going to be in the AlphaTauri for today. He's usually a reserve driver, but he is racing in PSGL F5 and in IRL F5. I'm not sure if their placement is actually correct. We will have to wait and see which placement actually nailed it. Or which league actually nailed his placement, but I think he's going to be a contender for a good position here today, as I think we're not far away from the... Oh, and I've opened up the profile once again. That is not a good start. Alright, now I'm here. Now I'm on board with Maurice Heppel, the German driver, who lifted off because he validated this the next lap. Great start. So, and I opened up the profile once again. Oh my god, I think they fixed... Ah, yeah, now I know what I'm doing wrong. They've fixed the thing when you press onto the name. You now can't press on the name itself once again, because usually you had to go one down on this year's game. But now it's fixed, and now I'm not used to it. Right now, though, we've got Jared Fursberry on his first lap of the season, actually, as he's maybe trying to get a cheeky slipstream here on the back straight, the third DRS zone. And yeah, Canada is a track where we've got a lot of overtaking opportunities, but I think we've got the best chances at turn 13, which is the Wall of Champions chicane, and turn 1.
Absolutely, yeah, and even the hairpin that he just did a massive lock-up into as Jared goes down the back straight. But picking up your braking spot for here is absolutely crucial. It's very easy to get this corner wrong. So hopefully Jared negotiates it pretty well. And we're going to have our opening lap time. He's only on the medium tyres though, so I assume this will not be a pole position lap. He does a 1:10.5 to open up proceedings.
Not a bad start, I'd say, considering he's on the medium compound. Nearly pressed on profile once again, but now I didn't. There we've got Evan McGregor, who goes 7/10 of a second faster, or 6.5 tenths of a second faster than Jared at the moment. We've got Riley Manning also in P2, who set his lap on softs though, so currently behind McGregor, even though he's on the quicker tyre, and he's went into the back of Evan McGregor, and Quali is starting off with a crash already. I'm not sure if Riley Manning was actually on another timed lap. Evan McGregor actually, I'm pretty sure he didn't think that Manning wasn't a flying lap, but it turns out he was. He was closing up more and more, and out of the chicane he clipped the rear end of that Alpha Tauri car and slammed into the wall. So Riley Manning is going to start this season, this qualifying, with a 1 minute 10.2. So probably not the best time to get yourself up the grid. So a lot of work to do for him in this race.
Absolutely, that was very akin to the Magnussen Ocon problem we saw, as I've just seen Ivan Brito have a spin in his Mercedes at a very unusual place actually. It's sort of in between turns 2 and 3, I believe. No, turns 3 and 4, sorry. But yeah, that's an unusual place to spin, and that's ruined his lap. We've got Tim Brustelins, who has gone quickest. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. But yeah, that was a very odd collision. It was very similar to Magnus and Ocon. It didn't seem like drivers were too aware of what each other were doing, and unfortunately we just got caught in the middle.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually caught that on tape. Otherwise, it would have been very weird to see a car in the wall there on his in-lap, which I thought it would be, but turns out it actually wasn't. But yeah, like you said, very similar to Ocon and Magnussen in real life. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like I said, Evan McGregor was just not aware of the car behind him being on a flying lap, which yeah, made things for him very difficult, and for the car behind especially, with in the end Riley Manning ending up in the wall. A shame for him to end his quali only after not even 5 minutes.
Absolutely, and we've seen a lot of drivers already invalidating the laps they're on. I've seen Nelson Santos and Thomas McIver all invalidate their laps. It's so easy to do around here, and it does suggest, certainly going into the race, that avoiding penalties will be massive to get in a good result.
Absolutely, we saw a lot of penalties yesterday in F2 already. I think we saw quite a few as well in F1, but we have obviously got people like Matt Romano, for example. Why can't I switch drivers? Yeah, now I can. All right, thank you. We've got people like Matt Romano, who was already in F3 last season, as Nelson Santos has already invalidated his second lap in a row now. Matt Romano in the Racing Point this season, he's usually one to watch in terms of time penalties, as he's usually very consistent concerning time penalties, and usually picks up a couple of spots, a fair amount of positions at the end of the race when everybody crosses the line, especially when we get a late safety car. And I think the safety car is something we should be talking about as well, because last season F3, obviously you weren't there, but we had a lot of safety cars. I can't remember a single race where we didn't have one. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get one today again.
Yeah, and I've seen in other races a lot of safety car action, so I would suspect we're going to get at least one today, maybe multiple. So strategy is going to play a key part there. You've got to be alert to what's going on around you at the time, and making the right strategy calls is going to be absolutely critical. And I think Matt Romano is someone who can take advantage of that, even if he maybe isn't going to be someone who's going to put it on pole. He's more than got the race pace and strategy to recover from that.
Yeah, the consistency is obviously something you need to be successful over an entire race. In real life even more, as we only have 50% races on here. But even 50% races can prove very tricky with the strict corner cutting, which is very harsh on this year's game. You are absolutely not allowed to dip a single tire or for just a millisecond. If you go off the track with all 4 tires, you're going to get a warning for that, which makes time penalties a very common thing in leagues on this year's game, as it was already a big thing on last year's. But yeah, this season is going to be quite a corner cutting festival, I guess, or time penalty festival.
Yeah, we've got Maurice Herpel, who's about to complete his opening lap, as long as he can negotiate the final chicane without too many difficulties. Breaks in, turns it in, no invalidation there, so his lap time's going to count. And he goes up to 5th place on a 1:10.2, but as we said that, Jared Fosbury has gone on to pole position on a mid 1:09.
Yeah, Maurice with a solid lap there. I think he'll be happy with that one. He said he's not feeling too comfortable for quali, as Thomas MacGyver has put it into the wall out of the hairpin. He just dropped it on the traction completely into the wall on the right hand side. That is not what you want, but it's better that it happens now rather than in the race, because in the race that's going to cost you at least one pit stop, maybe even an entire tyre, and with that your whole race. But I think one of the few guys who are actually on a valid lap at the moment is Luke Baker, who's coming towards turn 13 and 14 with the famous Wall of Champions on the exit out of 14, which could prove tricky in the race as well. He negotiates it quite well, comes across the line, took it very carefully though, and he goes 7th for the moment, right behind his teammate Tyler Thomas. So the Ferrari doing better than in real life at the moment.
And your prediction of Ewan McGregor showing well is looking to be a very solid one. He's gone to pole by half a second, which in tiers such as this is quite a margin to be on top by.
Absolutely. I think he's going to be one at least for a podium, but I think he's going to take the win with him. And I'm pretty sure he's not going to finish this season in this division, if I'm honest. I think he's too quick for this one. But we'll have to wait and see for the actual race. Currently, Jared has got quite a solid gap to Tim Bruce-Dalen's in P3 as well. As I think... oh, now I have to... that's Michael... I can't remember his last name. Can't find it on the list. Michael Edwards. Sorry.
Yeah.
Michael Edwards just gone P4 with that lap. So a solid one for him. Let's see. Ivan Brito. Nope, he's not on a lap.
We've got Nelson Santos, who's about to come up to the final chicane. He takes this nicely. It'll be a lap time for him to put on the leaderboard. It's looking pretty good at the moment, it has to be said. And he goes up to 2nd place on a 1:09.3. So he's finally hooked up one together, Nelson, and he puts it onto the front row of the Portuguese driver. So it's a good showing from him there, and he'll hope that his teammate can follow up likewise. And he is on a lap, but it's been invalidated now. I think there's more laps that have been invalidated than not being invalidated.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we were talking about with the fast chicanes. Obviously, it's very, very easy to just slightly track extend. And right now, it's still a lot of drivers without a single lap from P12 onwards. Nobody has managed to set an actual lap which was valid. But we've got Tom Spicer coming up to the final chicane now in his Red Bull car. His brother Adam Spicer at the moment without a lap tire. Not even... Wait, can I see him somewhere here? I don't think I can see him. Is he in this lobby? Don't think he is. Is he? Nah, he's not. He's not. His brother is not here.
Spicer tonight.
Yeah. Someone's got to keep the hopes for the Spicer brothers up as he goes P9 inside the top 10. Not too bad. And look at that gap in between him and Tyler Thomas at the moment. Very, very close in between them.
Absolutely. And despite the early crash for, I'm just finding the name. There we go, Riley Manning. He's still up in P6. And I think that's due to the amount of people that haven't been able to complete laps. And even if you do complete laps, I think because you're so mindful of getting an invalidation, it means you are leaving a little bit of extra time on the table because you don't want to cut across a curb too much.
Yeah, you need to find that good balance in between risk and just taking a safe line to not track extend. So you have to be basically exactly on the limit. You can easily be above it, and Thomas MacGyver once again has spun it out of the hairpin. It seems like he's not feeling very comfortable with traction tonight.
He's still on the medium tyres, which is quite rare. Usually once you get to this stage of a qualifying session, you're usually pretty much done with the medium tyres, but he's still trying to stick with it. But based on that moment anyway, it might be worth switching it over now and getting a lap together on softs, because he's yet to put in a representative lap, which somehow is still good enough for 15.
Yeah, as we have got 4 minutes left on the clock, he can still put in a lap if he will get it together for one lap, as we've seen Tom Jewell coming around the first couple of corners for maybe even his final run. I'm not sure if he is able to set another lap afterwards. So close to the wall. That's what you need to get a good lap time in. Down to second gear for this tricky left-right chicane. The traction around this right-hander right here onto the back straight is incredibly tricky if you're running no traction. And yeah, he just tries to negotiate his way through this lap without invalidating. Right now it's looking quite good for the Alfa Romeo driver, unlike his teammate. Hopefully he doesn't spin out of the hairpin. Nope, he doesn't. Good to see. Currently P11. Maybe he can get himself into the top 10 with this lap, coming up to the final chicane now, as the braking marker boards are so small on the left hand side. He still he hits the wall on the outside. Looked quite good for the first part of the chicane, but then he hits the wall on the outside, and I think that's his quali over. He damages his front wing, cuts the first 2 corners completely, and with that,
It would have been good enough for 6th place. But yeah, like you say, unfortunately he made that mistake, and he will start outside the top 10, which isn't the worst thing, because it does mean he has freedom over what tyres he starts on. I think we have just missed as well. Jared Fosbury has got up into 2nd place and has actually got pretty close to Ewan McGregor's lap time, so that's a decent effort there.
yeah, but we'll have to keep in mind that we are still waiting for the last couple of runs. I guess the drivers will come out in just a couple of seconds, as we've got Reece March out on track for his final run probably. Clips the apex quite nicely. Could have mounted that curb on the inside, maybe a bit more, as he comes towards the hairpin now. It says he's purple in the 2nd sector. I'm not trusting this game on any purple sectors, because most of the times it's just not right. And but right now he is about to set a valid lap. I don't want to jinx it, but as he comes to the final chicane, hopefully he will keep it together. Let's go on board with him. He takes it very carefully, clips the outside wall, doesn't invalidate though, and he comes across the line to go P6 for the moment. A very solid lap from the Racing Point, and he puts himself on the 3rd row of the grid.
Yeah, great effort there. Obviously, he's not going to be able to do another lap because I'm guessing he's probably got a bit of front wing damage after that slight contact against the wall. But yeah, good lap there. 1:10.0 up into the top 10. And I'd be shocked if he falls out of the top 10, to be honest, because although people will be going out for their final laps, I think they'll be going for it even more, and we are going to see a lot of invalidations, particularly for those who haven't done laps, because they'll have even more pressure on them to pull that lap out of the bag.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see Craig Woolley is in the pits actually, and so is the Haas in P80 now. He's retired, as Ivan Brito managed to set his first lap of today, and he goes last out of the drivers who have set their laps. He's not going to be happy with that one, but maybe he can fight back a little bit in the actual race. But let's look at the fight for pole position, as Tim Bruce-Dalins is currently in P2. And he pits, but let's see, where is Evan McGregor on track right now? Did I see some front wing damage? Yes, he's missing an end plate. He's missing a front right end plate, so Evan McGregor will not improve on his lap, and neither will Jared Fosbury. Jared invalidates his lap and ruins his chance for pole position in this race, or in this quali session, let's rather say. And it seems like the grid is settled more or less. Maurice has invalidated. What's with Tyler? Tyler has as well. Then we've got Luke Baker. Luke Baker's on a lap. Luke Baker's on a valid lap. That's good to see.
Thomas McIver on the medium tyres goes up into 7th. That's a good effort.
Oh.
Finally hooking up a lap after several mistakes out of that hairpin, but he's got it together right at the end.
It could be interesting for the race as well, starting with the mediums. He could try and do a one stop while Luke Baker has invalidated, so I absolutely jinxed it. I'm sorry for that. Tom Spicer has invalidated, so has Reece March, and I think that's our quali over. And expectedly, it's Evan McGregor on pole position, and Tim Bruce-Dalins in P2. Tim took his maiden victory in IRL last season in Silverstone and won the last race of the season in Brazil, so he might want to carry that momentum into the new season. Javid only manages P3. I don't think he will be happy with that one, but still everything to play for him in the race.
Absolutely, yeah, and the Renault team should be overall quite satisfied with how that qualifying session's gone. And to be fair, there's very little in it between the top three, so and if you're right at the front, I think it's not too damaging for your race ahead. Like I say, this isn't a track where it's just follow the leader, you can overtake, so there's opportunities there in the race. But incredible really that 4 drivers didn't manage to do a lap. I don't think Craig Woolley actually ever went out on the track, to be honest. But and I don't think Matt Romano will mind too much if he hasn't done a lap, because I think the race is where he really shines, so I don't think he'll be too worried about that. And like you say, with safety cars, the order could shake up quite a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And Riley Manning, even though he's retired after 5 minutes, he sat in P8 for the race. I'm pretty sure he would at least have gotten up into P6, as he's only a bit more than 1.5 tenths behind P6 with his first lap of the session. So that's not too bad. Jared, meanwhile, in the chat complains that Mercedes blocked him on his final run. So he's not happy with the driving of some people in this quali session. Hopefully that will not be the same in the actual race, but we will have to wait and see for that, as we're just waiting for the people who are still in the pits to retire, as that is Tim and Craig Woolley at the moment. But it seems like they don't really want to ready up.
Gotta wonder if Craig's still here.
Yeah, maybe he's just going for a quick toilet visit before the race. Maybe he's used quali for that. Who knows? But hopefully he will be back for the race then. As I'm trying to find out who the second passes actually. As I now see the rear wing of a Ferrari of Tyler Thomas in P10. That's what I needed to see, 100%. Alright, so here we have our grid lineup for the first race of the season. It's Evan McGregor on pole in front of Tim Bruce Dalens and Jared Fosbury. Then we've got Nelson... help me? Nelson Santos, I'm very sorry. Then we've got Michael Edwards in P5 in front of Reese March and Thomas McIver. Riley Manning, even though he's retired very early on with a crash, he will start in P8. Maurice Apple with a pretty good qualifying in P9. Then we've got Tyler Thomas in P10, Tom Spice in P11, Luke Baker P12, Tom Jewell P13, Jeremy Pope in P14, Alvin Brito P15, and I will go through the rest in the actual race because I couldn't find out that name so quickly. No, it was Jose Carlo Crua Mendeville. I'm just gonna call him JCK. I'm actually just gonna call him JCK because otherwise it's his PSN, I know, but I can't pronounce that name every single time in an actual fight, so I'll just say JCK.
Could shorten it to Jose Mendeville and just ignore the 2 middle bits.
Yeah.
That might be better.
Oh, that actually would be better. Yeah, alright, let's just go with Jose Mendeville. That should be alright. Jessica Harrison was she in the quali session? I don't think she was.
No, I don't think she was.
She joined later on, didn't she?
Yeah, I don't think she was in qualifying. She'll be starting from the back for the race, I believe.
Yeah, so she might pick up some pieces, as she scored points last season in Germany in that probably most chaotic race of the season. So many things were going down. Me and Jack were losing our voice. But hopefully today will be something similar. Not in terms of losing my voice, but in terms of excitement, as I will run down the rest of the grid as soon as the drivers have readied up and started with their formation lap. There we are. So we've got Matt Romano in P17, we've got Craig Woolley in P18, then we've got who's that? Can't find him on the list actually.
That's a good question. I can't find him either.
Alright, so we'll just call him Sleeves, and Jessica Harrison in P20. We're just going to go with that. We don't have him on the list, so we can't really say any names. So let's look at the tyres It seems like most of the guys outside the top 10 have actually chosen to start on the softs, except from Luke Baker, Ivan Brito, and Matt Romano, who will all start on the mediums. So they might go for the one-stop strategy to pit onto hards. Who knows? But we already discussed the safety car topic, which will probably be a thing in this race. And we've got two drivers inside the top 10 starting on mediums, which could spice things up as well.
This isn't a track where you would really expect to see much of a hard tyre, so I suspect it'll be mainly softs and mediums we see. I don't know why the strategy suggested a free stop. I don't think there'll be many drivers that do that. I think the only way you do a free stop is if you've hit a wall a few too many times. I think predominantly it'll be one stop and then maybe two, depending on safety cars and other adventures.
Probably, but who knows? Who knows what could happen in this race? But you are right. You really don't want to have that hard tire compound on your car when you're going through those quick chicanes. And yeah, have that amazing amount of understeer then. That won't help your pace probably. But we'll have to wait and see. Now I have the predicted pit stop strategy. For the first time. Lap 8 to 12, that could be about right. Lap 22 to 28 could be about right as well. So I guess we'll see most drivers doing the two-stop, as we see Jessica Harrison lining up for the first race of the season in IRL F5, IRL's first ever F5 race as well. As the lights are coming on now. Or are they? Now they're coming on. And we are up to 5 red lights. And we are underway here in Canada. It seems to be a solid start from Tim Roos-Dalens, who goes into P2 for the moment. The timing is glitched for me, but still, Evan McGregor is in the lead. Jared Fosbury is already dropping down places, and we already have a safety car.
Wow, incredible. A safety car such early on. I wonder who that is. It looks like, well, I don't really know. Oh, there's been more carbon fibre going there under a safety car. That looks like it was Matt Romano colliding with Jessica Harrison there under the safety car, so Matt Romano might have to pit already for damage, but not too certain as to why the safety car was called out in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. I was really confused at the start, to be honest, because of the timing. Now we see a different strategy. We could see the hard tie come into play now, which is, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So I guess we could see some people switching onto an effective one-stop now. Like, technically it's a two-stop, but you are saving one pit stop, so maybe people are changing onto the mediums now and try to maybe even do a double medium strategy if we already have a safety car even before the second corner. We might see many safety cars in this race, and this could take quite a long amount of time. But we've got
Fosbury's in.
Yeah, it looks like. Has he got some front wing damage? He might.
Reese Marsh as well.
Now Jared hasn't got front wing damage. He's pitting for the medium tyre. Ronnie Manning has got a 5-second pen. So many different strategies are being predicted now. But
I know he lost a position at the start to Nelson Santos, but I don't think there was any contact there. So, yeah, Jared just going for a different strategy. Perhaps it's like you say, it's unlikely to be the last safety car we see. So it's an interesting one. And actually, Reese has gone onto the hard tyre, so he'll be doing something a little bit different to everybody else.
Yeah, we could see a bit of a gamble there from Jared Fosbury, who was expected to be quite quick today on this grid as he pits onto medium. So, like you said, he could gamble on a safety car at the perfect timing. But we'll have to wait and see for that. Nelson Santos, in the meantime, in P3. He gained one spot at the start. Let's just have a quick look at drivers who gained some spots. Oh, look at Jose Mendeville, that's the name. Jose Mendeville, he gained 7 spots off the start and is up to P9. Sleeves gained 8 spots. Obviously, they've took advantage of the pit stops of those guys in front of them on the first lap. But still, they've gained quite a lot of positions. Maurice has gained 1 spot. Ivan Brito's gained 5 spots. Craig Woolley gained 6. Matt Romano gained 4. While Luke Baker also gained 5 spots. And Tyler Thomas gained 4. So the Ferraris having a great start to this race. And they took advantage of that whole safety car situation.
Exactly the start that Maranello would have hoped for, up into 6th and 7th places. I mean, in terms of tyres, they're both on medium tyres as well, so to gain that many positions on a tyre which in theory should be a little bit slower off the line is a very good effort indeed, and sets them up pretty well for the rest of the race because they can run quite deep into the first stint here.
Absolutely, the strategy is wide open for them, so they can play around a little bit, adapt to the safety cars that will be coming out. I expect at least. And Ivan Brito picks up a 5-second penalty for colliding with Sleeves. That's sadly still an issue on this game, that if you just slightly collide with another driver, you will get a penalty for that, which is a bit of a shame. So the stewards will have to work quite a lot after this race, I guess. But not in this situation, as Ivan Brito will serve it with his next pit stop, sadly, as the safety car will be coming in this lap. And the lights are out on the safety car, and now it's Evan McGregor patrolling the pace. We saw a couple of weird restarts last season, especially from that man in P2 who spun as he was leading at the safety car restart at Silverstone, where he just spun out of Vale, which was a shame to see. He won the race afterwards anyway, but now Evan McGregor is in the lead. He's weaving left, right and centre. Now he has gone right before the last chicane. He's not had the best restart. Tim Bruce-Zanens is actually pretty close as he slides wide, and that is a huge crash.
Michael Edwards is out the race. Out
of the last corner. No safety car, obviously. That was huge.
It's an absolute disaster for him. On the safety car restart as well, it's quite unusual. Obviously trying to make sure they get a good restart, and must have made contact with the world champions. He won't be the first, he definitely won't be the last. But yeah, it's an end to his race, unfortunately, so early on. And like I say, a little bit surprised it's not a safety car, because we seem to have a safety car early on for very little.
Yeah, I think the safety car just doesn't want to come out so closely, as Ivan Brito setting up a move on Maurice Hairpool. Now into the right-hander here. He locks up, goes completely off the track, has to give that spot back to the German, and the German retakes that spot for the moment. And now we have got Thomas MacGyver right behind them as well. He is ghosting on my screen though. I'm not sure if that's actually the case. It seems like he's not in the actual race. He's ghosted for me. Now he's back on my screen. So that was a bit odd. He is one barring on my screen as well. And there goes Ivan Brito once again on Maurice Hairpool. This time maybe he can make it work. He locks up. Maurice has to avoid a collision, cut the corner, and he doesn't pick up a penalty, luckily enough. In the background we've got Craig Woolley going, that was Tom Spicer, I'm sorry, going side by side with Reece Marge. But he has to give up that spot for now and gets demoted to P13.
Oh, big moments from both of them coming out of turn 2 there. I saw them actually go side by side through the final chicane, so that was incredible bravery and skill from the pair of them to keep it without contact. And yeah, it's actually Reece Marsh who was getting the position there, so it's P12 for him on those hard tyres. So good effort indeed, as once again Tom Spicer struggles to get the power down, seems to be having a few problems in his Red Bull.
Yeah, he's now he's getting pressured by Riley Manning right behind him, who's got front wing damage, and that is Thomas MacGyver spun round on lap 5 after he's been already struggling so much in quali in terms of traction, and now he's spun once again, this time in the actual race. Ivan Brito is on a hunt right now as he's getting very close to Jose Mendeville, I'm sorry, who seems to be not in this session. He's ghosted on my screen. Hopefully that's actually the case and not like a glitch for me, because it would be a shame if I couldn't see the fight. Maurice will pick up that spot now, as he goes through that ghosted AlphaTauri car up into P7, but note that ghosted AI car actually fights back for the moment, but it now has to give way. And Jared Fosbury, it looked like Maurice slightly lost the rear end there, as Jared Fosbury wants to get past the Williams in front of him as quickly as possible. I know both guys are on wheel, both guys are no traction, so both will be a bit careful on the power.
Top two have already pulled out a significant margin up front. Nelson Santos just cannot stay with him. He's already 4 seconds adrift of second place man, so silly days of course, but these two at the moment look a class apart. They are miles ahead at the front and still building that lead. Nelson needs to find a bit more pace if he's going to have a chance.
Oh, and that's Ivan Brito! Out of the hairpin, he spins round in his black Mercedes. On the traction, he loses it, and many drivers making mistakes left, right and centre. Let's go back on board with Jared. Is he able to pass Maurice just yet? No, he's not. And we've got Nelson Santos in the pits. He's changing front wing.
Yeah, he's got damage, so that would explain his lack of pace. And I think he had to stop in the pits there, so I don't know if he had a 5-second penalty there that he had to serve as well. But either way, he's lost a lot of positions there, and he'll be hopefully trying to make those up now. But I don't know where he hit the wall. But yeah, that's not good for him. But there is a long way to go, so it's not race over by any stretch of the imagination.
That is true. But speaking of losing positions, Reece March has just given ways to Ronnie Manning, who's fighting his way back up to the field, and also switch in between the Ferraris. Luke Baker's gone past Tyler Thomas. Now up into P3 goes Luke Baker for now then. So a pretty good race so far for those two guys. They've just stayed out of trouble for the moment, as Ivan Brito has gone past Jeremy Pope as well.
I saw that overtake from Luke on Tyler Thomas. It looked very orchestrated, so I wonder if maybe Ferrari have said over the radio that Luke is quicker at this stage of the race and Tyler's opted to let him go. It didn't look like a natural overtake. In fact, Tyler's pitted, so I wonder if he's got damage, because that's you wouldn't expect to make a stop after 6 laps on mediums.
Yeah, probably a bit of team tactics then is the only logical decision for them to make then, because if one driver has got front wing damage, why would he hold up the other driver? Even though we saw that in between the two Mercedes yesterday in F2. I was in the one Mercedes, Brandon was in the other one, as Brand had front wing damage and didn't want to let me go. But it seems like team spirit is a lot better in the Ferrari team in this division. So we can see quite a lot of mistakes being made by the drivers. Is it just maybe the first race of the season, just a bit of drivers being nervous, drivers not wanting to be too slow or something? Oh, Jessica Harrison, is she out? She's out. Speaking of mistakes, that's her out.
And that's another safety car. I don't know where that happened.
Start of the second sector, yes.
Yeah, gone backwards into the wall by the looks of it, so maybe lost it on traction there, but that's a real shame, and the top two immediately come into the pits.
And that helps Jared. Look at that. He's on the mediums already, so he can stay out. He's only done 7 laps on those mediums as he completely locks up into the first corner as he tries to get into the lead of this race. But Evan McGregor had the gap and he retained the lead for now. Maurice is in the pits as well. So is Luke Baker. Many people are in the pits. But it looks like Tom Joule has stayed out as well, as he has got the same strategy as Jared.
I think we might have got, I don't know if that's for sleeves specifically, but I've just seen a comment saying that his name is Glenn Beakers, so that might be Sleeves' name.
I guess so. I think the rest is on the template, so it should be him then, I hope. Otherwise we're just gonna say a completely random name to someone. But yeah, we'll just say Glenn Beakers, not sure. Problem is I don't know his nationality, so that makes things a bit more interesting even for pronouncing it, but we'll just have to deal with it now.
Looks like Michael Edwards was struggling with tyre temperature at the restart. That would explain the reason for their unfortunate crash early on. I mentioned, I joked about the fact that nobody had been making 3 stops. Having said that, there's already some drivers that have made 2.
Yeah, I think
So,
we're not far away from some 3 stoppers here, but I think Jared has put himself in quite a solid position with that strategy now as Tom Jewell decides to pit on this lap rather than on the previous lap, which is very odd to see. He was in front of his teammate, but he decided to stay out for one more lap. Not really sure why. Now he's changing front wing. Maybe he picked up some damage. Who knows? I didn't see anything though. And another Merc as well in the pit lane.
Ivan Brito.
Yep. And also Nelson is in the pits. Or was in the pits, let's rather say. He fitted the hard tires. So maybe they'll actually go till the end on this compound.
It's very possible, but of course if a no safety car comes out, they won't be on the preferable tyre in terms of pace, so it's so difficult to call at the moment. We've had so many position changes because of the safety cars and the various incidents that have happened, but despite that, through it all, Ewan McGregor seems to be, at the moment anyway, in good position in this race. Doesn't seem like anyone can get past him, although Jared, like you say, is back into a very promising position despite that early stop.
Yeah, Jared, with that bold strategy call he made, is into P2. Also, Tom Spicer on the softs, which I don't really understand. He's already done 8 laps on this compound, and the softs don't really last that much longer. So I'm not really sure what he's trying to do in terms of strategy. Safety car's not coming in this lap though. So we'll have another lap of safety car action. Oh, it actually is coming into
that
the...
was late.
That is a bit... Yeah, that is quite late. Not gonna lie. Don't think the drivers expected that, but well, here we have it. Jared leaves a bit of a gap, and now Evan McGregor goes... Does he? No, now he goes. After the chicane, it looks like there were some overtakes already, and Jared is being put under pressure, and Tom Spice is under even more pressure from Tim Boostaden, who dives down the inside into turn 1. He needs to make that move stick now to not lose too much time against that Red Bull. Oh, he goes onto the grass. That won't help his move to be made around the outside now. Can he make it stick? He clips the wall on the outside. Don't think he's damaged though.
Stick. That was brave. That was brave stuff. Brave stuff from Tim there. But hopefully he's got away with damage there. But that was an important move, like you say. He needed to get past Tom as quickly as possible, and now he can set after chasing after his teammate and the race leader. But yeah, that was a very odd restart with the safety car being called in so late, and then obviously the race leader Ewan not really putting the pedal to the metal until literally out the final chicane. So. But it seems like we've got away with it. There's a yellow flag in all sectors at the moment,
Yeah.
which is a bit odd.
I was just about to ask if that's actually the same for you, but it doesn't help us identifying if someone spun or something. Matt Romano goes past JCK for the moment. And there goes Tom Jewell around the outside on the straight. It looks like Matt slowed down on purpose. Matt just lifted off the throttle. And he's taking it very carefully. So, don't know what's his plan, but maybe he thought it would be a smart decision to let those guys go, to just do his own race on his soft compound, and that's how he got his results last season, so maybe that will work this season as well.
We had some team orders early on in the race. I'm just about to ask you, do you think Renault might need to implement some here as well? Because Tim is right behind Jared on much fresher mediums and looks like he's being held up behind him. Do Renault need to make the switch as well, do you think?
I think they should, but knowing Jared, I don't think he will give the position up that easily to his teammate. He really wants to beat his teammate 100%. The way I know him, he's not going to let him go that easily, but they should definitely make the call. Jared should let him go. Will he let him go though?
Tyler Thomas has just lost out the hairpin but managed to avoid the wall. Just before that as well, we saw a great pass from Maurice Herpel, who managed to get past Craig Woolley and up into 6th place. Very nice move down the inside at the hairpin.
Oh!
Side by side, and that's Craig Woolley in the wall. It's so easy, it's so difficult to go side by side through there without that sort of thing happening.
And there goes Jeremy Pope down the inside of Riley Manning. They're glitching into each other completely on my screen. And there goes Reese March around the outside of Jeremy Pope now, as they're going side by side towards this tight chicane, and they make contact. And it's Riley Manning spinning round again, same corner where he crashed out in quali after contact. And it seems like he really doesn't like that chicane right here. It's only brought bad luck to him so far.
Absolute train of cars behind Reese at the moment, and I suspect something might go wrong very soon. Reese is currently holding on to that 6th place, but he's got Tyler. Oh, I thought Tyler was about to lose it again against Nelson Santos, but they managed to cling on side by side. But this train of cars is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And
sleeves.
Well, that's Glenn's race over, unfortunately. That's never seen that before.
No, neither have I, but very chaotic so far, as it's really close between Nelson and Tyler right now. And there goes Tyler, back past maybe, now into the chicane. It looks like Nelson has got the spot for now, but maybe Tyler can get back past. Jeremy Pope is pitted, and Nelson stays in front for now as he at the straight line speed there. And in the meantime, as we didn't see that, Tim Bruce Dalens has passed his teammate Jared Fosbury. So they've swapped positions.
Yeah, whether that was orchestrated or he just sent one anyway, we don't know. But he's got a lot of catching up to do right now. Ewan McGregor looks pretty unstoppable out there to already build up a 6-second lead after a safety car restart. That's incredible pace, and like you mentioned before, he might be a little bit too quick for the F5 league.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he will, like I said, finish the season in this division. But that trade that we were looking at before really helped Maurice. Look at the gap he's got to Reese March now. He's sitting comfortably in P5. It would be his best ever result. I don't want to jinx anything. I'm really rooting for him to get a good result today. Currently sits in P5. He's done quite a solid job, and Reese March certainly helped him with that one.
Absolutely, and whatever Matt Romano was doing before, he has now caught back up to this long train of cars from 7th place downwards. So I wonder, will he back off again, or will he try and go for it a bit more? Because I understand the tactic of trying to wait for things to happen ahead of you, but sometimes you've got to take that initiative and make things happen for yourself. Yeah,
you're absolutely right, and I'm pretty sure Matt would rather like a more quiet race for the first half, and that kind of chaos for the second one. But for the moment, I'm pretty sure he would rather be on his own for the moment. But the AlphaTauri in front of him is not in the session on my screen. Don't know if that is the case for you as well, Jake. But
he's ghosting, yeah.
I think
so I don't know.
I think Jose is not in the session, sadly. Not sure though. It could just be a glitch for us, but Jose Mandeville right now on our screens is not in this lobby. And we've got another safety car.
Ivan Brito's out the race. I don't know where he crashed. I'm going to try and stay on board with Craig Woolley to see where that was.
Yeah.
It looks like it was... That's unusual. It looks like it's in the middle of that chicane.
Yeah. Very, very odd. And we've got both Renaults in the pits.
Well, that's Jared Fosbury.
And Tim has got front wing damage. Tim has to change his front wing. Tim goes onto the hard tyres.
Cost Jared massively. He's got to queue for a long, long time, and that's going to surely lose him at least a couple of places.
Oh, that takes long. That takes long. Oh, he must feel like Danny Rick right now. Oh, and did you see the AlphaTauri? Oh, he's not in the session anyway, but he had to wait for both racing points. Oh, wow. Reese March was in the pits and Matt Romano was stacked behind him. And that's why the AlphaTauri in the pit box right before them couldn't get out. There was just a racing point standing in the middle of the way out for him.
I don't think... I'm just looking on board with Jose, looking at like steering wheel movements. It looks very AI-like, so I think like he might have disconnected.
Ah, yeah, it does, sadly.
And it's suggesting it's not Invictus, sorry. You know his name. I can't remember his name. Riley Manning. Yeah, it says he's an AI as well. on my
maybe
screen. I don't know.
he's
Don't know if you've got that.
he didn't pit after his front, and now he's taken control of his car again and slams into the wall.
I just saw that. That's really unfortunate. That really wasn't good timing for him.
No, definitely not. And I just want to point out Maurice is currently in third place.
That's great effort. Yeah.
Please hold it.
He's opted not to pit under the safety car, probably because he's expecting another.
Probably
as we've got Tom
smart
Jewell in the
decision,
pits again. I felt it's a second consecutive safety car period where Tom Jewell has been a bit late in pitting.
Yeah, maybe he should change his attitude towards pitting a bit earlier next time. Maybe he wouldn't lose an entire lap to the other cars then. And also Riley Manning is now pitted. He fits the softs. Interesting. Soft tyres for the McLaren.
He's definitely banking on another safety car then.
Yeah, well, he has to, otherwise his race is basically done and dusted. But what do you think? Do you reckon with a lot of tyre management those top three guys could go maybe till the end?
It's going to be tough. I mean, obviously they're in the track position at the moment, which is absolutely key. Obviously we don't know, obviously with safety cars and whatnot, what will happen, how long they'll actually have to do on those tyres at racing speeds. It's going to be tough. I would suspect not, but it depends how good they are on their tyres, really. It's going to be touch and go, I think. But I suspect they may have to stop again if we don't have another safety car period.
It is
It's
definitely a big risk, like you were about to say. Sorry for interrupting you. I thought you were done with what you were about to say. But the safety car is this time actually not coming in, which is good. Hopefully this time we'll know a bit sooner that the safety car is about to come in. Seems like now no one is about to make a late stop as I look onto the mini-map, and no one is diving into the pits, so it seems like everyone has made up their mind and decided to stay out.
Yeah, definitely. It's actually not worked out too badly for Jared in the end. Like, despite having to queue up for what seemed like an eternity, he's only actually got one car between him and his teammate, which is Reece Marsh. So it's not worked out terribly, and he's gone for the mediums, whereas Tim, his teammate, has gone for the hards. So I think fourth down to six should definitely be able to make at the end, but I don't really understand why Tim went for hards, because I think mediums from now onwards should definitely be okay.
Yeah,
or maybe he didn't have any new sets left.
Oh, that could actually be the case, but especially with the safety car now, basically the 2 laps that are on those tires right now are just under safety car circumstances, so I guess that will be a maximum of like 5% maybe, if you don't try to like overturn in the corners to get temperature into the tires, what Kimi Räikkönen always does in real life, as you can see many times on the formation lap, for example, as the safety car is about to come in this lap once again, and it's another restart from Evan McGregor now.
Yeah, he'll be getting used to these. It's again a balance right though, because we saw earlier on, like, maybe Michael Edwards didn't get that much temperature in his tyres, but he didn't get enough, and he unfortunately crashed out just after the safety car restart. So you've got to get enough temperature so that when you plant the throttle, your rear end's just not going to go on you.
As we're waiting for Evan McGregor to go now. Can't be long.
He'll be thankful he's got a little bit more time to prepare for it this time.
Yeah, he definitely has prepared it quite well so far, and he's got a solid gap to P2 for the moment. Should be under pressure, but let's look at Nelson, who is really close to Maurice. Not close enough to make a move just yet, though. Tim Brusdenen's sitting in the background as well. He's waiting for a mistake, and he didn't have to wait that long, but he slightly touched the car of that Mercedes driver in front, and that nearly ended in a spin for Tim, as Javid will try to find a way around Reece March in front of him as soon as possible, as Reece is on 10 lap old hards, and I think his time has come now, as he goes side by side, and he should get the move done now, or does he? Reece goes wide, cuts the corner. I think he should let him go for that, and he does.
Fair play, that's good sporting driving that from Reece. It wouldn't have been right for him to keep a position there, and he lifted off to allow the far over. Tyler Thomas, ever the optimist, has taken that opportunity to grab another position, and what was giving up just 1 place. He's now lost 3 as Reese because Tom Jules also passed him.
And oh, look in the background, we've got Jeremy Pope and Tom Spicer fighting their way. 4P11 at the moment, and Reese Marge went side by side with Tyler Thomas, I think, as he has lost quite a lot of time. Or was that Tom Jewell? I'm not too sure, but they're going side by side, coming down into turn 1 now. And it seems like Reese Marge has given up on that spot. He was slow on the apex of the corner as he loses the rear end just ever so slightly, but that gives Tom Spicer the chance to get past as he also outbrakes himself, and that gives Reese Marge another chance of fighting back. But Reese Marge can't fight back and actually loses the spot this time, so he dropped down from P6 to P10 now within a span of, like, what was that, a lap? Something like that.
Well, I credit Reese there because he cut the last chicane, which I think is why he sort of backed out of the move against Tyler Thomas. But or Tom Jewell rather, shall I say? But once again, him backing off has kind of alerted another driver to him losing more positions than he perhaps wanted to lose. So it's all well and good being a good sportsman, but you've got to be alert to someone going for an opportunistic move, and because of that, he's lost 4 places in the space of a lap.
Yeah, far from ideal for him, as Tyler Thomas is really close to Jared Fosbury. Reese has just been passed by his fellow German Tim Bruce Danens. I have no idea what it looks like in terms of time penalties, by the way. I don't know if you kept track on that, but there were so many time penalties popping up so far that I couldn't even keep one name in mind of those that have popped up.
I can have a quick look for you.
As I'm just trying to catch the action, and the field is still very, very close, which is great to see, except from, expectedly Evan McGregor, who's pulling away 5.4 already. And that is Tyler Thomas dropping down as he has been passed by Tom Jewell now. Can he fight back though? He's in the slipstream. He pulls out to the outside. Oh, he slightly clips the ball on the outside, which this gave him front wing damage. It shouldn't. There goes Tom Spicer now and Tom Jewell, as Tom Spicer has got the outside line for the hairpin. They make contact. Not the cleanest of fights in between them right now, but they leave each other the room now as they come onto that long straight. Both should have the DRS. Yes, no, it actually looks like Tom Jewell hasn't got any ERS. So, DRS, sorry. As
That's a good move.
Tim has gone past Luke Baker as well. Tim up into P2.
So yeah, quickly in terms of the top 4 then, the leader Ewan McGregor has no penalties at the moment, and neither does Maurice Herpel in 4th. As for 2nd and 3rd place, Tim and Luke, they both have 3 penalties each.
Ooh.
So Maurice right now is actually in a pretty good spot. He's only actually had 1 warning as well. So that's very fair play around this circuit.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Well, it seems like he's even getting held up by Luke Baker, both on 13 lap mediums. Maurice is engaging overtake ERS mode now. Around the outside he goes into the chicane. Does Luke try to hold it on the inside? Maurice leaves in the space, and Luke is the one that cuts the corner on the inside, even though he didn't have to. But Luke doesn't only lose 1 spot but 2 within the span of a corner, maybe even 3, as Jared dives down the inside into there. But Jared has got front wing damage.
Ooh, there's a bit of contact between them there. Luke didn't want to give a position up, but there was a slight squeeze going on there, and it's not stopping Jared, this damage. He's now attacking Nelson for P4. This is going to be a brave move around the outside of the final corner, and I don't blame him for thinking better of it. But he remains in 5th place for now, and that was... Did he lose concentration there slightly? He just sort of drove off the track briefly. Easily done, I suppose, but yeah, that damage hopefully won't affect him too much, but... Well, he'll hope to go to the end on those tyres now, so he'll have to hope that damage doesn't worsen.
Yeah, Jared has barely had any ERS left as he was trying to pass Nelson right there into the final chicane, but he had about 3% of ERS left, so it's going to be difficult to pass someone with that amount. Maurice has actually got a solid amount of ERS left, so does Tim. And Evan McGregor, I always want to say Conor McGregor. Evan McGregor also has quite a solid amount of ERS left, but look at Nelson. Nelson hasn't got that much of ERS, so it might prove pretty difficult to pass Maurice here.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and I think there's a move further down. I think that was Riley Manning passing Tom Jewell for P8 as he tries to get back through the field. He was quite thankful in the end. I think that when he took over his car again, that he was under the safety car when he hit the wall. So that's not affected him too much. And on those soft tyres, he's starting to charge through the field. And I wonder if Tom Jewell has damage because he's back into the pits.
Yeah, I guess he has. I'm pretty sure he could have gone to the end on those tyres. Maurice, though, in the meantime, and Evan. I'm not sure if those two guys can make it to the end. And I'm pretty sure Maurice would drop down quite a lot with another pit stop.
Meanwhile, back at the front, it's all about Ewan McGregor. He's just absolutely, every time he's been asked questions with the safety cars, he's just responded. He's pulled out a huge lead once again, and it's getting to that stage where if he wants to make another stop, if he doesn't want to take the risk, he probably can get away with it.
Yeah, actually, you are right there. But certainly Maurice couldn't get away with it. Neither could Luke Baker, and both are on the same age of tyres as Evan McGregor in the lead at the moment. And look at Jared and Nelson. Both have not got that much ERS left as they come onto that long straight. Maurice has, like I said, got quite a lot. He's managed it quite well so far in this race.
Yeah, and that's absolutely crucial as well, especially right now when it comes to him needing to defend his position. Having the extra bit of ERS helps to keep those behind, and it might take a mistake from Maurice to make him lose third place. Although Nelson's going for it down the inside to turn one, Maurice gives him room, but Nelson couldn't make the move stick. It was a good attempt to the move, but in fact at the same time he might lose the position to Jared, who goes down the inside, but again thinks better of it and actually picks up a penalty in the process.
Ooh. Did you see how Jared lost the rear end then and nearly collected Tom Spicer with him? That was incredibly close between those two. But yeah, that's what you were saying. That's what we were seeing earlier on as well. That if you try to make a move, you need to make it work. Otherwise, you're going to maybe even lose a spot rather than gain one.
Yeah, it's so easily done here, especially if you're in a big group like these are. Like I say, Tom Spicer there had to be careful there not to get damage himself, and you've got to be so alert in these big groups when someone's going for a move, because the nature of these fast chicanes here, it slows the cars down a lot when they're side by side.
Absolutely, it can be pretty sudden for the drivers. If the car in front goes for a move and it doesn't work, they maybe have to go for a sudden stop on track, or they're just going really slowly. Luke Baker doesn't want to risk it. He dives into the pits to make his pit stop. He doesn't think he can make it till the end. I wonder what Maurice thinks. Could he make it till the end, or will he go for the safe option and take a pit stop but lose a lot of positions? I think he would come out around P9 or something. P9, P10, somewhere around there.
Well, with the fact he has no penalties, it's kind of... It's a tough one, really, because I would gain a lot of time pitting now, and it isn't the longest pit lane around here, so you don't lose as much time as you'd lose at other tracks. And you get the feel that the cars behind him are quicker, and will try and make a move, and the last thing he needs right now is to get embroiled in a battle, and it slows him down. It's tough. If he's going to pit, he needs to do it soon. There's no point leaving it too late. He needs to commit one way or the other.
Yeah. We are closing up to the point of no return for Maurice and also Evan McGregor. I think Evan McGregor, it would be the smartest thing for him to pit, as he has a lot to lose right now in P1. He's leading the race comfortably. I'm pretty sure if he would pit, he could gain the time back. But there goes Nelson now down the inside of Maurice, and he clips the front wing of Maurice. Can Maurice fight back though? Out of turn 2 they go. No, he can't, but look at Tom Spice and Jared Fosbury going for it, as I've picked the wrong camera angle, and there goes Jared Fosbury around the outside again. Now has the outside line for the next corner once again, and Tom Spicer just can't find his way around the damaged Renault.
And you're going to have another driver join this battle now. Riley Manning's caught up, although he'll probably need to stop soon. He's done 10 laps on those soft tyres now, so I mean, is he going to try and eke those out to the end? It remains to be seen, but he's going to be embroiled in this battle soon as well, and I have got a feeling this could end in tears for somebody here, because it's getting very, very close, and you can see already Nelson's pulled out a second on Maurice. Maurice may be struggling for outright pace at this stage. Those medium tyres might be starting to go off.
Yeah, as Tom Spice is still trying to get past, and he
Maurice Pitts.
is, yeah, Maurice in the pits. Tom had to set Jared out wide in the last chicane. Maurice made a smart decision, I think, with that pit stop. He goes onto the soft compound, and I think that's absolutely the right decision. As we can see, Jared is going side by side with Roddy Manning now, and Roddy Manning is still not in the pits.
And where is Maurice going to rejoin the track?
Oh, Roddy
and
Manning is out!
Roddy Manning's out!
Is this
Where's
going to be a
that
safety car? VSC. Awful
virtual
timing
safety
for
car?
Maurice. Awful timing for Maurice.
30 seconds earlier, that'd have been fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's still P9 for the moment, so not too bad at the moment.
Oh, and we've just saw there, Tom has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car.
Oh
So
no.
it's a big blow for him as he was looking for points.
That's going to drop him down quite a lot.
And quite unsurprisingly, I guess Ewan McGregor's taken this opportunity to pit.
Yeah, absolutely the right decision. I actually would have pitted earlier if I was him, just to be completely safe. Tim also pits.
Now that's a slightly stranger one because he was on hard tyres. He could have easily got those to the end.
And Tom Joe gets... that's the second
Another.
drive that we can see.
Is that the same one or is that another one?
I think that's another one, isn't it?
I'll
It just
have a
popped
look.
up. Oh, it popped up once again. Could be. Jared also in the pits. Jared changed front wing. So Jared's dropped down to at least P9 now. Might even be P10 or 11.
Wow, that's some strange decisions there. I have to say. I mean, Jared
Strange
probably might have opted to change his front wing. Well, nevertheless, he's now lost track position, and it's going to take a lot of effort to get back to where he was before. So, especially with the penalty he's just got.
And in all that, look at Craig Woolley.
Oh, and what's happened to Reese?
Reese is out.
Reese is out the race as well.
On the outside. That's weird. That's a weird place to crash. And we've got a safety car. Oh,
I take it back. Jared's a genius.
Well, if he would have stayed out just that little bit longer, he now would have had an even better chance.
Well,
why is Evan
Ewan's
pitting?
back in the pits.
Why did he?
Does Tom just go flat out under virtual and safety
Evan
car?
fitted 20 lap or mediums,
What?
and Tim takes the lead. Tim takes the lead of this race with a very, very odd strategy call by
He just
Evan.
pitted for soft tyres. I'm absolutely puzzled.
I don't know what to say.
Well, and he's showing up as ghosting at the moment. Has he lost? Has he disconnected or something?
I'm not sure, but it would make sense that it's an AI strategy call because the AI does that.
Yeah, because nobody. I don't think anyone would take off new softs for 20 lap or mediums. I don't think that's not a strategy you'd go with.
Yes, he's out of the session. He has an
that's-
X next to his name. And
That's
now,
a real shame.
wait, let me just check. Do you know who's in the net lead right now? On
It'd
pens.
be Maurice, wouldn't it?
Maurice is in the net lead. He's on 2 warnings though. But right now, sitting in P5, he would win this race if it ends like this.
That's absolutely bizarre. Even if Ewan can take back control of his car, he's going to then find out he's got incredibly old medium tyres on.
He's not
That's
allowed
the-
to rejoin as we still have that glitch.
Of course, yeah.
That corner cutting glitch.
That's-
So, that's so unlucky. That
He's
is
done
so
everything right
unlucky.
up to that point. Everything right, and it's all gone wrong due to things out of his control. That's a real shame for him.
Absolutely. And now Tim is the one that is going to control the pace and is probably wanting to pull away from all the other guys. But I don't think he can pull out such a big gap to make up for his penalties within such a short span of time. And we need to keep an eye on Nelson as well. Nelson is right behind Maurice, and Nelson wasn't that slow in the entire race. I don't think he has... Oh, no, Nelson, come on. He has had no single warning all race long until lap 20. And in between lap 20 and 23, he picked up 2 entire penalties.
I don't know how many penalties it is for disqualification, but if I was Tom Spicer, I'd be a bit careful in his last few laps because he has a lot of penalties.
And how much does Jared have, I wonder? How much penalties?
Not too sure, actually. I've seen it. He
3.
definitely has at least one.
He's
Yeah.
got 3 pens, so a lot of drivers with a lot of pens. The least amount of pens, except from no pens, is by Evan McGregor, but he's obviously not in this race. So Maurice basically has no contention right now if he just comes across the line. If he just doesn't bottle, he could win this race. But we'll have to wait and see what Tim does on the restart now. As the safety car will be coming in, we'll have a 4-lap sprint till the end.
And a quick shout out to Matt Romano because he's only got the 1 penalty as well, so he's in contention for a great result too.
Oh, you're right. Completely forgot about Matt. He always has such silent races where he just sits somewhere, just does his own thing, and then suddenly he appears in P5 or something. But we'll have to wait and see for the restart. Tim is not the best at making safety car restarts, as he spun last year out of the lead on a safety car restart. Has he gone now? Yes, he has. He doesn't need the gap to Evan McGregor. Maurice picks up a penalty.
Wow. Just you saying he just needs to keep it clean and that happens at the restart. That's not what he needs. But he's still in a good position. Just having 1 penalty is a lot less than most other people, so he's still in a good position. And we can see, unfortunately, Ewan McGregor dropping down the field as a result of the AI in control of his car. But yeah, at the moment it's Tim that leads, but this is going to be absolutely manic across the line, I think, with the penalties.
This is going to be a thriller, but like I told you before the start, F3, aka this season F5, usually never disappoints this grid. At least usually doesn't disappoint, and it's really close in between Nelson and Maurice at the moment. Maurice is losing time to Luke at the moment. He needs to keep the gap to the cars in front to an absolute minimum though. As Jared goes past Tom Jewell down the inside into the hairpin, Jared puts himself up to P6, and Nelson...
And Tom made contact with the wall as well, so I don't know if he's got damage again.
And there goes Nelson. Can he make the move stick around the outside? Side by side usually doesn't work through here. Doesn't work this time. Oh no, he doesn't.
Almost. Maurice has lost a lot of time in a lot of positions.
And front wing.
All gone wrong.
He's been put into the wall. I gotta say that was Nelson's fault, 100%. Nelson cut the chicane, and while coming back onto the track, he clipped Maurice, even though he was on the outside of the track. Maurice is still on for a great result if he just comes across the line.
Matt's just picked up a 2nd penalty, which could be critical actually with the things that keep happening in this race. This is going to be incredible. Tim's tried to pull away while all this is happening, and all this absolute melee further down the field is creating quite a gap from 3rd down to 4th place, which is going to be all the more crucial. And Jared is trying to make more progress. He's got Nelson just in front of him. It's a shame really that Maurice's race has gone the way it has, thanks to that unfortunate collision with Nelson.
Yeah, I'll have to have another look at that, but Maurice drops down even more now against Jeremy Pope. And that is so unfortunate, but like I said, from the first look, it seemed like Nelson just didn't leave enough space on the outside as he rejoined. He was, I mean, we talked about this earlier. Going side by side through the last chicane. It's really working as Jared clips the rear tyre of Nelson. And those two are fighting it out for P4 on track at the moment.
Something else we just missed, thanks to a chat, I just spotted that. Tyler Thomas has been disqualified.
Oh.
So
how did that
that's
happen?
His race over. Multiple penalties, I'm guessing. But
and Tom as well.
Yeah, Tom's out too, so we are seeing disqualifications here. And
there's so many things popping up on the bottom that I just think that's another pen or something, so I don't really pay a lot of attention to that. Oh, as Jared loses the rear end, nearly breaks his front wing once again, but this time he actually keeps it.
Yeah, he's trying his best to get past Nelson, and they've caught up Luke Bailey incredibly quickly.
Baker.
I don't know if Luke... Baker, sorry, made a mistake. Don't know if you made a mistake somewhere.
No worries, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Lucas is struggling.
And that penalty's not going to help him either. He's clearly desperately trying to stay in that third place. But Nelson's got such an overspeed here. He's going to have a look into turn one. And there wasn't... Jared nearly got caught out there.
My goodness me, that was close to a retirement. Oh, and now Jared's got it. Luke was onto the grass. Luke was onto the grass, it looks like on my screen.
Yeah, he's not got damage or anything, so yeah, he must have made a mistake. But yeah, he's down to 5th place now, so Jared, for all his adventures, is up into 4th and has still got a chance of getting P3 on the track at least. Amazingly, we are on the last lap. It's gone incredibly quickly due to the amount of chaos we've had, but through all of it, Tim's managed to build up a 4-second lead, and will that be enough for him to claim the victory in the Canadian Grand Prix?
We will have to wait and see. Let's quickly see if Jared's close enough. I see Jared locking up everywhere, left, right and centre, every single corner. I'm not sure if that's actually the case or if that's just the game. It could be just the game. But
that's a major dive down the inside from Matt on Romano and
right
Maurice.
now, I will shortly go back to that. But here we've got Tim crossing the line. On track, he wins. But what happens on pens as Tom Spicer crosses the line? He won't win. He's got massive amounts of penalties. Here comes Nelson. Nelson only takes P2. Jared takes P3. Luke stays in P5. There comes Craig Woolley. He takes P4. Where does Jeremy Pope finish? Maurice jumps up to 4th. And we'll have to check what in
Maurice
the end.
Is 4th. That's all I know at the moment. But I think Tim has won.
I think so as well. I think Tim managed to get the gap in the end. But sorry that I had to interrupt you, but I had to keep an eye on the guys crossing the line in the end.
No, that's absolutely fine. And yeah, it's Tim that wins the race. We've got Nelson Santos in 2nd and Jared Fosbury in 3rd after all of that. We don't know the full results yet because it all happened so quickly across the line.
But I think we can both agree on that this was a very chaotic and exciting race. As Maurice has sent me a voice message, I can't listen to that. But I guess he'll be happy with me for his best ever league racing result. And yeah, luckily for him, that 3-second time penalty didn't cost him any positions. He would have been 4th anyway. But who knows? Maybe Nelson gets a pen afterwards for that collision with Maurice. Who knows? But who expected that result? Who expected that?
That's absolutely incredible. We've had Craig managed to get 5th after starting 18th. We've got Matt Romano once again, ever the opportunist in picking up those points in 6th. Tom Spicer, who crossed the line in 2nd, let's not forget, finishes 7th.
24 seconds of penalties. My goodness me, that is quite a lot.
He must have been close to disqualification.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, but fair play to Tim. He picks up his 3rd race win in IRL, and he will be very, very happy with that. And Nelson on his debut in IRL also picks up P2. So a great result for him as well, as I'm trying to invite those podium finishes then. I'm not sure if Jared will actually be happy with it. I think in the end, considering how his race went with all the ups and downs he's had, I think he will be more or less happy with that one.
It's one of those where I think you've just got to take the result that you got, because so many things happened, and you could argue, or maybe it could have been this, it could have been that, but I think every driver had their ups and their downs in that race, and ultimately, considering the damage you had earlier, I don't think a podium's a bad result.
Absolutely right there. I think Jared did not only have front wing damage once, but multiple times. And in the end, it's a double podium for Renault as well. So they're starting off strongly in the championship. And yeah, we've got our first podium finisher to join. Actually, our race winner. Let's see if anyone else will join the party. It looks like they will. It looks like it's going to be Jared. So we'll just start off now. And we'll start off with our race winner, as always. It's going to be Tim Bruce-Dalens. Tim, huge congratulations on your win today. Your 3rd win in IRL. And after you won the last race of the season, last season, you made it 2 in a row technically now.
Yes, uh, yeah, it's technically 2 in a row. I'm happy with it. What a race. I'm sweating all over. Yeah, that was close in the end with the time penalties, but the safety car in the end saved my ass, and yeah, I'm very happy.
Yeah, it looked like a great drive, and it looked like Evan was pretty safe in first place, and it looked like he had that win secured until he unfortunately left the session, and in the end it was you taking the top step. But we're now starting off the championship fight with 25 points in the bag. Um, what are your expectations for the next couple of races? Are you just trying to go race by race, or are you actually thinking about the long game?
Just doing like last season, building consistency, staying fast, and yeah, then we will see. Hopefully, yeah, I can get a championship this season, but I have strong contenders, so it will be an up and down season. Hopefully not, but yeah, just building consistency and look where I am.
Yeah, we know you from previous seasons as a very consistent driver, and you've proven that today once again. As you, even though that race was so chaotic, as you still managed to come out on top with all those safety cars. What was going through your mind when so many safety cars were coming out, and it was basically all over again, the same procedure? And what was going through your mind?
The first thing I thought about when the safety car comes out was shit because of my time penalties. Yeah, I think it was 3 safety cars or 4. Yeah, every time I need to thought about a strategy. Yeah, on the end was as VSC what saved my ass. I could switch to softs. Alongside the race, I got in the fight with I think Luke the wing damage. I was managed past my teammate, but yeah, not catching even. Yeah, but all the safety cars, in a way, they saved my ass. But yeah, in the end, it was a bit close with the time penalties. Yeah, and I need to say the softs who I picked up in the VC was the right decision to yeah, be fast as I can, and yeah, in the end, it paid off.
Yeah, you've done a great job today, and looking into the future to next week to be exact. We are racing in Italy. What are your expectations there?
Monza's one of my favorite tracks. Yeah, just yeah, as I said, a bit consistency, stay clean in the race, a bit less penalties, and then I think podium would be in. But yeah, as I said already, I have strong contenders, so yeah, we need to see next week.
All right, so huge congratulations on your win today, and I wish you the best of luck for next week.
Thank you.
All right, so as we haven't got P2 in this party, Jake, I'd suggest you go on with our third place driver then.
Yeah, so congratulations, Jared, on P3. We were wondering what your feelings would be after that race, because it was quite chaotic from your point of view. Are you happy with P3, or are you gutted it wasn't better?
Well, I'm a bit mixed emotions as well. I'm a bit gutted and a bit happy, but good team result, first and third. Didn't get really a good start, bogged down on second gear, and yeah, it just went downhill from there. Got a bit of wing damage with Kelvin when Tim passed Momo on the hairpin. Kelvin wasn't really paying attention, hit him, and then it slowed him down into me. I got wing damage all the way till the next and last safety car. And a bit of a double stack there for me and Tim, cost me a little bit of time, but then I thought just get my head down, push, and I actually wasn't expecting P3 until I found out Big Boy June actually lagged out. So I'm over the moon, and yeah, it's a good result for the Renault team, and hopefully we can keep going forward for the constructors and the drivers, because I know me and Tim are going to be very close and fighting for it.
Yeah, I saw both of you were very close at certain points of the Grand Prix. There was a point where he was behind you on much fresher mediums. I didn't actually see the overtake, but did you let him through, or was it just that he was quicker than you and managed to get the move done? Was there any team orders there?
Well, at the time, he couldn't actually get through because we had a little bit of a glitch with the yellow flag. The yellow flag was actually on for everybody, and you guys had it as well, where they wouldn't allow you to overtake for the first couple of laps, and then it went, and then I realised he was a lot quicker. Any chance for him to catch a Big Boy June to help me out? I thought, yeah, let him through. Didn't really attack that much, and then a late safety car comes, and then it kind of cost my strategy, because I think I could have won with the strategy I had on pitting on lap 2 with medium. So, but at the end of the day, it was a good result for the Renault team.
Absolutely, yeah. And you were involved in a lot of battles there. I saw quite a few moves you did down the inside of a hairpin. Was that something you targeted before the race? Is that a favourite overtaking spot of yours at this track?
It's not a favourite place. The World Champion chicane, that's a perfect place to make an overtake if you can make it work. But no, I just saw there was a lot of people struggling in the hairpin, locking up, and since I'm new to no ABS, I've learned I can brake later than the ABS users. So it's been a lot to get used to, and yeah, it just was easy, just flowing through, making moves, and I had to make a late lunge on Luke Baker at one point as well.
Absolutely. And just finally as well, you emphasise obviously the importance of a team result. Is the constructors something you're really aiming for this year, and what are your hopes for the Drivers' Championship as well?
Well, I'm more concerned about the constructors at the moment, like 80% constructors. As soon as we wrap that away, then me and Tim can fight it off for the drivers. Of course, Tim is a quick guy and he deserves it as well, as much as every driver on the F5, and it is going to be a push. It's twice where I've been with a Renault teammate and we've been quite close together, but I think Tim has the edge of me at the moment. But we'll see what we can do. We'll race fair and clean and won't be too aggressive towards each other. But maybe on the final round, we may see us go side by side to the line for the championship.
Absolutely, yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of the Renault team as we go forward. Congratulations again on P3, and hopefully next week you'll have another good performance.
Well, thank you very much.
No worries.
All right, so as said, we don't have Nelson joining us for the podium interviews this week. That is it for the first round of the IRL F5 Championship here for Season 8. A massive thank you to Jake for joining me, and I'm really looking forward to be commentating for you this season.
Absolutely, yeah. And thank you to Felix as well for having me in the commentary box alongside him. It's been a lot of fun, and if this week's anything to go by, it should be a lot of great racing ahead.
Hopefully it will be, and I hope for a very exciting championship fight. It started off very, very well. And make sure to tune in next week once again, always on Sundays, 4:30 p.m. UK time, on the International Racing League YouTube channel. And yeah, make sure to check out the other streams as well. And then I'd say I'll see you guys next week for what will hopefully be another very exciting race in Italy. And until then, goodbye and take care.